Welcome to the Flip Your Chips
Well, if
podcast.
it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, baby. All right, so welcome to Flip Your Chips podcast. Here it's not just about the ROI in dollars, but also the ROI in life. Achieving one without the other is like a half flipped coin. We're here to bridge the gap, offering tips, tools, and resources in finance and entertainment. Let's flip those chips and make every investment count.
Like she said, flip them chips and dip into this drip. This episode of Flip Your Chips is brought to you in part by Tide Water, the
Oh, yeah.
best natural spring water. We got that drip for you. How you doing today, sis?
I'm well. I'm well. I woke up this morning. That's a good start for me for sure. How about you?
Every day above is love, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm hyped. I'm cheesing.
Yeah.
Cheekbones going crazy. Dimples.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Like
I
I
feel the energy all the way from over here, right?
just beaming out my chest like Iron Man. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm so
Uh-huh.
happy. Like I can't describe it. It's like
Yeah.
I'm on a high just off of all this momentum and everything we got going right now. We've made a
Yeah.
lot of upgrades
Yeah, for sure.
in a very short
For
period
sure.
of time. We coming in this podcast game real strong, y'all.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. 100%. So one of my favorite topics is the tycoon tips. All right. So let's drop some gems today. What are the tycoon tips of the day? Talk to us.
Man, my tycoon tip for today, I would say, is to be disruptive. You don't have to
Mm,
play their game. You can make your own game. And
mm,
when I say that, it's like the whole idea of like, if you can't get through the front door, go through the back. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? If you can't
mm-hmm,
find a door, build a door.
mm,
And if you can't, what they say, you can't beat them, join them. I'm the opposite. Like, if I can't beat them, I'm gonna beat you. I don't know. That's just what it is. I don't know. Like I'm not joining you. Like I'm just
Right.
going whatever. But I say that because I think that we don't get revolutions and renaissances by, if that's a word, I think this renaissance is the plural of that, but by just simply being conventional and doing things the same way. So like, for example, Ice Cube, right? Wanted to create a league, like the big three. I feel like that was very disruptive. We have a lot of people that end up leaving the league, retiring, or they can't find a way to, you know what I'm saying, stay on the court. So then whether they go overseas or they join a different league, it revived and brought different people back. So I thought that, and even like looking at what's happened recently this year, what's his name? Jaylen Brown, the guy that got that huge contract with the Celtics.
Mm-hmm, 300
Um,
mil.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he went and played in the big three, the first active NBA player that played in the big three.
Yep.
And it's like, look at what's happening. So it's like, will this be a subsidiary? Will the NBA end up trying to buy out the big three? Like we couldn't. So Ice Cube is like, they won't let no black man own an NBA team. So I'm about to own my own team and I'm gonna bring the NBA to me. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like that's disruptive. Like Ryan Leslie, like is another example of someone that I think is disruptive. He has an app he created a while back called the Superphone, and the whole idea was that most people, when it comes to communication, 90% of people are more likely to open a text message than they are like social media or email. I beg to differ.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody I text, if I DM them, I'm gonna see the red message. I don't think it's like that now, but when he made this app, it was very disruptive and it took ownership of your audience. So it's like let's say you go to your favorite restaurant. I'm pretty sure you go places and you check your phone.
Yeah.
The last restaurant you went to is gonna text you and say, "Hey, come back." Like just the email text marketing, like just really being disruptive in that area that we don't have to do door-to-door marketing. Like how can we think outside the box? Even in the pandemic, all media stations were down. So how were we disruptive? We got on Zoom, we improvised.
Yeah.
So like I said, just like I said, being disruptive, taking risks, and like Tyler Perry, he dropped that documentary. Like these are just, like I said, not to get into all of
Yeah.
the business moves of these people, but just disruptive examples. Maxine's Baby, when he released that documentary on Amazon, he went through the Chitlin circuit and had to create plays and had to just find a different way to break in. And now this man owns a massive Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he played by his own rules. Like you don't have to Nipsey Hustle. Like, all money in, young Dolph, like being independent. I just love seeing like the industry is shaking up. So it's like the things that people used to think that they can get away with, Rich Paul being an agent in the NBA, LeBron, it's so many different ways. You don't have to go to college. There's no cookie cutter way. So like I think just being open-minded to trying something completely unconventional. If it's never been done, try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't feel like I gotta take the road more traveled. You might find a different route, like Tabitha Brown being stumbled upon becoming famous cooking when she really wanted to become an actress. Like, however, you got to figure out how to get there. Like we talked about this on our last episode, and I'll wrap this up. The episode with when we mentioned Tyga and Dave East, and I mentioned how he makes this certain type of music. Like there's some people that have to go through music to get to acting. So in your disruption, you may have to be on Empire singing, but you really want to be an actor. Whatever the case may be, being disruptive could be open-minded to the position that you may have to play. Like everybody wears different hats. You might have to be the coach, you might have to be the player, but as long as you're open to being disruptive, I feel like it's gonna create more opportunities like look at Cam and Mace. They have the number one sports talk show and they're cursing. And they have in the NBA, they got OJ Simpson up there. They saying pause. And I'm like, they smoking. And this is coming on TV. And I'm like, yo, Cam and Mace reporting on sports?
Right, right.
Come on. Like you don't have to be the expert. So I just like Joe Budden, everybody's finding different lanes. So just get out there, create content and be disruptive. So that's my tycoon tip. Be disruptive.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how have like what's an example of how you've been disruptive in your
Oh, that's
personal
a you always money psychologist. How have I been disruptive?
life?
Oh man.
I feel like I should have said, "How have you not been?" But I'm gonna let
I
you answer.
think everything about me is disruptive. Like I've always marched to the beat of my own drum.
Mhm,
Um, Disruption for me. I feel like if I take it back, like to when I started the Tasmania show, interviewing celebrities like Tiana Taylor, Jeremiah, Pusha T, whoever, right? Interviewing all these celebrities, and people are telling me that I can't do interviews and rap, but I do both. You know, and I end up going to London and end up getting 50 Cent to invest and Sonny Vaccaro. Like it's like what we did, like we were there together. Like you
mhm.
saw, like it's just like I can't explain it. It's not on me, it's in me. Like it's
Right,
like
right,
I'll
right.
call you and be like, you know who I just met? And you'd be like, where was you at? I was at Diddy crib. Like, or what I'm let me not bring up a Diddy example. I'm all right, y'all.
Go ahead.
He's a bad, bad boy.
Oh my
I had to just get off
Facts.
real quick. But nah, like I think even a party series that I created called Network, right? So
Mhm,
if you wanted to network or you wanted to twerk, you can come and network. Like I feel like I was bringing different worlds together. I did the dope dealer tour. That was it. Let me be very clear. That's the one. If we talking disruption, I created. All right, was supposed to go on this tour. The tour ended up getting canceled or whatever. And so I said, I'm about to put myself on tour. So I moved to LA, throw my show, Blast, huge artist. Shout out to Blast. Mad love to him. One of the first artists to perform on my stage when I came to LA. So I said,
mhm,
you know what, I'm gonna do a stage at South by Southwest. I reached out to South by Southwest. They wasn't jacking it. So I said, all right, whatever. I bought it. I bought the venue out right there in the middle of 6th Street downtown. Okay, back bar. Bought the bar. I hit them up. I'm like, I'm throwing a show. Throw my show. I got rest in peace, PNB Rocky, my headliner. Who pulled up? DJ Drama pulled up, Lil Uzi pulled up. So South by Southwest ended up emailing me. I guess they got wind of it and they was like, hey, like we got wind that you throwing a show during our festival. You know, you gotta take out of your caption. I didn't even have South by Southwest on my flyer, a
mhm,
cease and desist.
mhm.
Because, and I was like, oh, so you did hear me. Y'all was just scared. So I had a dope dealer
Correct.
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
I did that. And then another big one, I did the same thing, Grammys. I tried to do an official Grammy after party.
mm,
Reached out to the respective parties. They ain't want to listen. So I reached out to this bar. I'm throwing a party. The Grammys reach out to me and say, you need to take this image down of our Grammy. I'm like, all these niggas, you know, DC, if everybody got a Grammy party, everybody using that, but me, y'all telling me that. I'm like, I'm obviously I'm shaking the room. So
yeah,
those
yeah.
probably were two to get the attention of South by Southwest and the Grammys. And this was years ago. I'm like, okay, so
Mhm,
y'all see me. That's it. You don't have to acknowledge me,
yeah.
but I know you see what's up. So yeah.
100%. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, as we getting into that was nice. Okay, you know, getting real. I like that. Yeah, you know, we got into the tycoon tips, so you know we got to get into the flip your chips tips. You did.
Mm,
What you got for
mm.
us today, sis?
Honestly, the past couple of days have been actually really good. So yesterday we did 20%. Today I did 10%, so 30% in the past 2 days. So that was a pretty good outcome. And so I'm talking to some of the people that I'm trading with, and everybody's course is different, right? So what I realize is that we're our biggest critics, right? And so with trading, you have to kind of let it come to you. You have to, so if I can create an analogy, like when you pay attention, like humans are habitual people, right? So we do things by habit. So same thing with trading, there are things that happen constantly on a chart. And so when you take your emotions out of the situation and you let it come to you and you let the chart tell you what to do based on what it's presenting, then it becomes a lot easier. And so in this case here, I had a few people that I was trading with, and they didn't have too much of success, but that's just because they were in their own head, if that makes any sense.
Mm,
So you can look at the same chart that I'm looking at, but if your mind is not seeing what I'm seeing, or I'm not seeing what you're seeing, you might win, I might lose, because I'm in a different mental mind, basically in a mindset that you're not into, right?
mm.
So that was one of the things that stood out to me this week. And then also just um being patient. A lot of times when you're looking at the market, you get anxious and you're like, oh, let me get in this buy, or let me get in this sell. This look good, or whatever. This trade looks good. And so you get antsy, and it's like, no, you gotta relax, let the process do what it do. So yeah,
Mm.
that's pretty much
I don't know why that was so calming and soothing. It's like
it.
burning sage and incense in here right now,
Mhm.
like when it come to you. Like, but that what's crazy? That's your personality, just in
Mhm.
general. Like
Yeah.
real calm, cool, collected. Like it don't matter.
Mhm.
So hype, and you have a like a neutral hype.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, now don't be too anxious. It's like you the point guard. Like you got that D Rose energy. Like I love D
Yeah.
Rose. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, okay,
He would have been the greatest if he didn't get hurt. But he
man.
ain't.
What?
All
Come
right,
on,
so let's go into the mogul moves.
mogul.
Okay, I
Yes.
know that you always come with the fire with that. Tell us about the mogul moves. What's that? What does that look like?
So the mogul moves, I be on the fence about so many different things that I want to talk about. But today I want to get into like it's actually like an extension, YouTube content creation. So there's this group called AMP, and it
Hmm.
stands for Any Means Possible.
Okay.
The members are from like all over. You got Phantom, I believe he's from the Bronx. You got Kai Cenat, he's a YouTuber, Twitch gamer. He's from the Bronx. You got Duke Dennis.
Hmm.
He's from South Carolina. Agent, and then Chris. Forgive me if I'm missing like the whole crew or whatever. But these guys, like on the song J. Cole and Drake, the song First Person Shooter. I don't know if you heard the song yet, but
Hmm.
he said my niggas make more. He said my niggas make more than you, and they all stream. It's like this line that Drake said about
Hmm.
they all
Hmm.
stream, that he's
Yeah.
talking about those guys,
Mm.
the guys that I'm telling you. Like, so these
Okay.
guys are just at home getting on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? People are like paying you like just to
Oh
talk,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're
playing
talking about.
video games and stuff. And I feel like it's a mogul move. We, and these are micro influencers growing to very big macro influencers and creating brand deals and opportunities just by taking the camera out, creating a vlog, and ripping and running. Like I love it. That's something that, aside from podcasting, being an artist, and doing vlogs and day in the lives, like I know that's something that I personally like to see. I want to look into the life of the people that I like a DDG or a Queen Naija, and just the lifestyle, like creating your narrative through YouTube and being able to make a real substantial living. So these guys bought this huge crib mansion in Atlanta. They all live in the same crib, and they literally just get paid to sit. Like, imagine us doing this 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Lambos, all
Mm-hmm.
types of, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, like, and just being at it. And one of the things that I've heard them say a lot is like, just do it. One guy
Yeah.
was like, I had nothing but my phone, and I use that phone every day. And then I ended up getting a laptop. Then I ended up getting a camera. Like, making like us right now, we're utilizing the space. So wherever you are, like, there you are. take the opportunity to look in your environment and utilize your resources. There's people, even if you look at Earn Your Leisure, they posted their picture of how they started. They had 2 iPhone setups and they were sitting in the dining room. And it's like, if you can use what God wanted, like give you the faith of a mustard seed, God gives you this little bit. What can you do with a little bit? Because you've been
Yeah.
faithful over few, I'll make you ruler of many.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout outs to those guys, because some people wait for everything to look perfect and then they film the content, and then that suppresses the growth and the grind and everything like that. So I would say the mogul move shout out for this week is the whole AMP crew. If you want to learn more about any of them, Duke Dennis just did a really dope interview with Complex with Speedy. So check that out, or you could check out Kai Cenat. He's always interviewing celebrities. Like he'll bring Nicki Minaj to his crib, Offset, or whatever. So like I would say, check into that. A lot of kids are not even going to college because they're like, yo, mom, I'm gonna just play the video game. And oh, and one other person I want to mention, T Grizzly. He is another person that has created a whole PlayStation YouTube community. People are getting PCs and they're setting them up, and you can get on there. And these people do this because they want to get away. But like T Grizzly has a whole Grand Theft Auto team, and some of his fans. He was doing an interview and he was like, I got my fans working at my donut shop in the video game, and he was like, the GTA is like the metaverse for gamers. So kids are in there creating a person, shooting people up. He said, I got a crib. Somebody tried to hit up my laundromat the other day. And he was like, I just go there to escape. And he was like, he loves that he could take his artist app hat off and really just, you know, be there. So yeah, that's the what was I gonna say? The mogul move this week. Cause like I said, I could have kept going in, but I'm just, yes.
Nah, that's good.
Blue chips. Tell us what the money play of the day is.
Oh man, if you have not heard, so you know I'm deep in the crypto life, right? Like, so I'm like literally in
You
that
got the
joint all
blue.
the time.
Is that something? Hold on, real quick. Is that something you need to tell me? You go by blue and you with the cryptos, like, yo.
No, I ain't that deep.
All right, everybody else, blue chips, crypto. I'm like, okay. Like
Yeah. Nah, seriously, like on some real note, like it's a decentralized exchange, okay? That was just released called Pondex, and it is absolutely amazing. The creator is he goes by Paulie0x on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And so the whole purpose of this ecosystem is to give back to the people that help build these companies in the first place. So a lot of the times in like the first kind of, I guess you would say, phase of crypto, you would have the NFTs, the tokens that come out, but they will benefit the people that developed the project or the VCs that kind of basically funded the project or whatever. So the little man didn't get the profits that he wanted to get because they already kind of front ran the whole situation. So what Pondex does is saying that if you use our decentralized exchange, so let's just say I'll use Bitcoin and Ethereum since most people have heard of those. Um, if you use the decentralized exchange, then they're going to the fees that's collected from those transactions, they give back to their community and they reward them for using their platform. So recently they've paid out, I want to say at least, and I could be wrong, but at least $20 million worth of rewards back out to their community. Okay. And they just recently came out with a new token called, I know it sounds weird. That's, this is just how it is, but they came out with a new token called Pork like 3 days ago. So a person put in $300 and then actually no, $1,000, and in 2 hours they made a flip to a hundred grand because it has so much attraction and attention to what's going on. So that is definitely the play of the day, the week, the year, like period. They're calling it crypto 2.0 because it's putting them in position where common people like you and I don't know if you saw that GameStop documentary, but it's like that, but it's on steroids. Like it's putting the money into the people's hands versus the big investors. So yeah.
some $300 pork.
$300 pork. Imagine buying a pork chop for $300 and you sell it for
I mean, what you got for pork chop?
yeah.
That's a cheeky.
Yeah. So just to kind of give you like the breakdown of that. So there was a popular token called Pepe that was released last year. And so the whole point of Pawn was to actually help build an ecosystem around Pepe, but the people that started that basically wasn't doing right by the community, long story short. So they got fed up with it and they what they call forked Pepe. So basically like think of it like so you have Bitcoin and then you have Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is the forked version of Bitcoin, right? And so now they've given an opportunity where people can make money from their own system versus relying on other people that's not running their system right in the first place. So, yeah.
Sounds like a lot of independence. I like a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of no
I,
codependence, none of that. Like
oh
I'm
yeah, it's no middleman, none of that. Like literally you're in complete control of all of your finances. And that's why it's a threat to most people because that's how the banks make their money. That's how these traditional, financial institutions make their money is by collecting fees. So if they're giving the fees back to the people, the bank's not collecting them. You see what I'm saying? The traditional setups aren't collecting them. So that's what puts them out of business.
it's wild when you really think about you charging me. I'm letting you hold my money and you
And
charging
you
me for it.
charging me, right?
Because I can really keep this in the crib.
And I'm trading and I'm making way more money on your money. And I'm gonna give you a penny at the end of the year or a dollar at the end of the year. And I just made 10, 15, $100,000 off your money.
Mm.
So it's putting you in a position where you can make money off your own money, off your own efforts. You know what I mean? Because without the people, you don't have a system. And so they understand that and they understand that the users are king at the end of the day.
Yo, this sounds like I'm really starting to get like what
This
y'all
is like some
doing over
revolutionary type thing. I'm
here?
like,
Yeah, making money off of
you're
my
gonna hear this in the news for sure soon.
dang.
Hmm.
It's like breaking news right now. You over here,
Yeah. Yeah.
Cleo.
If you go on Twitter, like in the financial sector, you'll constantly see Poly Zero X trending, Pawn trending, or Pork trending. You'll like all the time. I know it sounds weird as hell, but that's like, yeah, that's
Assalamu
what it is.
alaikum. Like that pork.
So those yeah, it's a token. It's a ERC20 token. So it's on the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah. I know it's a foreign language, but
No, I'm not gonna hold you. Like as
yeah,
foreign as it sounds, like
yeah,
I get it in the foreign world. Like it's
yeah,
like I'm following. It's like, do I
yeah,
get everything? No, but like everything is connected. It makes sense. I'm like, so that's what okay.
yeah.
Like they out here buying porky pig
Yeah.
tokens. Okay.
Get you some pork. I don't even eat pork, but I like that pork.
Mm. Con- This is so
Yeah.
far. You said it's called poly, like
So the name of the owner is his Twitter handle is Poly0x.
okay. Oh, you know what? Look, because you heavy in that space. Where can people follow you, Blue Chips? Like, because like I feel
So
like
you can
the
follow
people that
me at Blue Chips ENTP,
okay.
and I try to either post like repost what they have going on, or just like some things that I've learned. I try to share it, for people that are just learning about it.
Do you
Yeah.
do Twitter Spaces too?
Personally, I'm on Twitter Spaces, but I
Oh,
don't host Twitter Spaces. So
okay.
I'm on there because I'm constantly learning about what's going on and how to stay updated and stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay. Well, man,
yeah,
that's incredible. So what we
yeah,
gonna do is we gonna get into some Tide water real quick. Shout out to Tide Water, the best spring water out there. We
yeah.
will be right back with Flip
Okay.
Your Chips podcast. Get it.
Flipping my chips, I'm getting rich.
Welcome back to Flip Yo Chips. Sorry, we had to dip and get some drip.
A little tip. All right, go ahead.
We did. All right, yeah.
Tips. Like, all right, I'm done. All right, go ahead.
So we here for the flip. Ah,
At some point, we gotta grow up. But go ahead. Who wants to?
oh, we man, you know what I appreciate about when we be flipping? I guess that's whatever you want to call it. It be real life experiences that like we go through or we're talking throughout the week, and you'll be like, yeah, like, come on, we need to, talk about that. So, today was from, me having, if you guys don't know, I also, have India listed as my therapist. So when we're not podcasting and she's not friending me, she's therapizing me. So, I call her for a lot of insight and things, and she just gives me brain massages and stuff. But, I was expressing to her just the environmental and awareness of the things you do before you go into places, right? Like you talk a lot about psychology. Like you don't want to trade if your girlfriend just broke up with you. You don't want to, it's just certain things. If there's a funeral, it's like you want to be like, look at where you are. And there's a lot of people that'll be like, I'm fine. There's been days, for example, I've had to perform the same day I was at a funeral. Like I was at a funeral at 12 o'clock, I was performing at 8 o'clock. One might say, do you think you should be performing? One might say, maybe you should. The show keeps going. As entertainers, that's what we're told, right? But then it's like, if you're trading though, you don't have to be on the stage and the bright lights and everything like that. But I just experienced something recently that I had a situation come up and my gut told me to not make the phone call. Like, for example, I think a good way of putting it like this is this. I usually have my phone in mindfulness like 85% of the 95% of the day, meaning that only certain people can reach me. And when I wake up, I'm proactive instead of reactive. So when I wake up in the morning, only certain people can come through. But the moment that that goes off, I realize how it takes my attention away. Like literally, it's like I go into another world. And sometimes that could happen, right? So if you don't have boundaries or filters for your brain throughout the day, you may be out and about, like doing whatever, and you might get a text, and then your whole face is just like, now your energy's disrupted.
Yeah.
You opened your phone and you saw something that threw you off, and now you don't know how to function. And me, maybe I'm just not equipped enough because then it'll be on my head. So like I have to remind myself, like, so a lot of times I like to make phone calls if I'm in the car, if I'm out shopping or something. But then sometimes I got to ask myself, like, I don't like to call bill collectors before I go in certain places because I know you're going to take up 3 hours of my time. So it's like, is this the right time? And a lot of times, let's say, for example, right, you're on your way to work and you say, I'm going to call my insurance and I'm on my way to work, or I'm going to call whoever to get to take care of this. But it ends up taking 2 hours and you're in traffic. By the time you get to work, where's my coffee? Like you're gonna be tight. A lot of it's sometimes misdirected energy. So we got to be cognizant, like, do I need to talk to this person? And just being mindful, because I didn't like lose an opportunity or mess up. But when I look back, I'm like, I should have followed my gut. I shouldn't have made that call. I should have waited, because what it did to me psychologically, I didn't feel like I was at my best because of that conversation. And I know we all are guilty of, we'll look at somebody like, I can't talk to this person right now. Like you got to know, like if you know who to pick up the phone for and who not to, I think we all know, like, so we got to be mindful of that. Like right now, like everything doesn't have to be addressed right then and there. And I think when things come to your phone, you feel like it's urgent. Oh, let me respond right now. So like I would just say put filters in place and boundaries, because yeah, hopefully that makes sense with us flipping it. Did that make sense to you, sis? Like,
Yeah, that made a lot of sense. That made a lot of sense. And so what I'm getting from that is having some type of clarity with different types of energies in your life, right? So like if I know that this person is they like to turn up, they like to go out, whatever the case is. Oh, what you doing? It's a Friday and I know I got a test, so I know I need to get some work done. I might not be able to entertain that type of situation, right? Or
discipline.
like if somebody that is maybe in your life that needs you, right? And you know that you don't have no problem showing up for them, but it's like, all right, in this moment right now, I got to show up for me. You see what I'm saying? So just being completely clear on what energies are good for you and when should you allow that energy into your space. Because I think that's a big piece that we overlook, is when should we allow certain energies to to be in our space.
And also too, just understanding that like it's a yin and yang, right? It's night and day. Like energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. So whoever you around, 6 degrees of separation, you're the company you keep, like that type of energy. Like negative people will try to leech onto you. So even like you got to be cognizant, like you may be having a good day and someone just was on a mission to give you negativity. You got to be, even if you could be like, I'm super positive, you got to be mindful that there's negative energy in here, whether I need to pray, meditate, step aside. Like just know everything ain't got to be for you. Some people go in places just because they want to meet somebody, but know that the energy is off. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And you got to be very cognizant about who you roll with, who you associate yourself with. I show up a lot of places dolo. So when people meet me, they experiencing my energy. Like, so
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on that because that it's transferable. Like you might feel like you said, you might feel like you're in a positive space, but if you just got off the phone on an argument, or you might be flustered, or you got some bad news, or whatever the case is, you might try to put on face like, okay, I'm good, but in the back of your mind, you still thinking about that. And so
Mhm.
now your focus and your mindset has shifted, and now you're not focused on the task at hand.
Mhm.
So, I think that just comes with experience, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times it's like I don't even know, like if I think of it from a perspective of like let's say from a child perspective, right? So if I know that this child is about to take a test for school or whatever the case is, I'm not going to say, hey, let's play video games right before your test or right when you need to start studying and stuff like that. So, but as a child, you can't, you know what I mean? You're not mature enough to decipher, okay, when I should be doing it. It's like, nah, I'm gonna play the game, forget this test, right?
Mhm.
But as an adult, because you have those experiences, you want to pretty much channel into like, okay, here I am, this is what I'm experiencing. And I know the last time I engaged with this person or the last time I engaged in this type of situation, this was my result. So I
Mhm.
got to fix this so I can fix that. You feel me?
So many
So,
layers to that. Like,
yeah.
this.
Do not disturb, okay?
Airplane mode.
Right.
Like, no, for real.
Yeah.
No, that
Mhm.
was eloquently well said. I think that's just a lot of it's a mix of things, boundaries, discipline, knowing when to
Mhm.
say no, and getting to know yourself. I
Yeah.
think here's an example I like to use, and I use you and I for this
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
If me and you were to walk inside of an event and I was to introduce you to somebody, or somebody was to say, "Oh, you know what? Here's India. She knows everybody. She'll show you around." Right? And then they say the same person comes back and say, "Hey, here's India. She knows herself." I'm gonna want to hang out with the India that knows herself.
Mm.
Most people, if they were walking in the party and they had an option, they want to know the person that knows everybody.
Mhm.
That's the problem. You want to know everybody, but you don't know thyself.
Mm.
So I'm more interested if you only know you, but you know 100 people.
Yeah.
You say your network is your net worth, but what's your self worth? I'm not gonna get too.
Come on, bars.
I was
Come on,
like,
bars.
my chips. I'm
Uh-huh.
getting rich.
Hey.
Running out digits.
Yes.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie, that just kind
Yeah.
of made me think, oh, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. We could say that for like a whole nother topic to
Yeah.
be honest, but like your net worth and people, like knowledge of self, that's self-worth. And I just like think there's more that you can do. That's a more powerful person than 100 people that know one person and one person that knows everything about themselves.
Oh
But
man, that's the most powerful person in the room.
yeah,
You know
the
what I mean?
to
But
know
that is a journey though. Like getting to know yourself is
Mhm.
a journey because who I was today might not be who I am tomorrow. So
Mhm.
dang, I just got to know her now, you know what I mean? So it's a constant journey. And so when you have someone that is really in tune with the foundation of the, because you're going to change, you're going to evolve. That should be everybody's, mission. But when you have your morals and your foundation in place, you can then build off of that. And a
Mhm.
person that knows themselves knows what things they tolerate and what things they don't tolerate.
You know what that leads to? It goes back to your point about the mindset when
Mhm.
it's coming to trade, right? I would bet if we had to see, I'm not saying that it's introverts versus extroverts, right? But like if
Yeah.
we were to see if there was a common thread, if you did a survey,
Yeah.
like how many of y'all feel like y'all know everybody? Like, all right, who's the most popular versus the person that knows themselves? Because I would bet that a
Mhm.
person trading would be that's more in tune with themselves, would be
Mhm.
more confident in the risks that they take versus a person that doesn't know themselves will be like, yo, which one you think I should do?
Mhm.
There's a lot of people like, what should I wear? What should I watch on
Mhm.
Netflix? What should I eat
Yeah,
for dinner?
because they worried about what people pleases. They worry about whatever people think about them.
That and the indecisiveness or the lack of accountability that if this goes wrong, I can blame you because
Blame
you
somebody.
do
Yeah.
it.
because you told me to do that.
Right. So it's like knowing who is really influencing your decision. Did India, because I could be like, India told me to do it. Nigga, that's your responsibility. You chose to do that.
I didn't put it, go in that sale with you. I didn't go in that bar with you. Yeah, nah.
Right. And there's some people that go out, make decisions, right? And then they'll come home and be like, I should have just went to the grocery store when I said I was going to go to the grocery store. Now there's an argument because you know why? You're really mad. You know how to listen to yourself. You're mad that you could listen to your husband more than you could listen to you. And you arguing with him because you don't know how to listen to yourself.
Yeah. And your body and everything else will show you when you start to not listen to yourself. It'll show up in other ways. It'll show up in other ways. Like you'll start to get stressed out or sick or whatever the case is because you've been neglecting you. So we going because we can keep going down.
That's what I'm saying. Like
down the rabbit hole with this show.
Yeah. Oh no.
Like let's dive into that because I really like that topic of getting to know you. I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. It's a lot of people from all ages still trying to find out who they are. So
I got a bar for that. You said getting to know you, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to those who knew me because I'm getting to know me, which is the new me.
We're going to end it on that note. Come on now. We're going to end it on that one. You can't keep talking much like that, man.
Flip your chips, like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, tag Tikoon Blue Chips. We love y'all. See y'all next Thursday.
Love. See y'all in the next one. All right. Peace.
Flipping my chips.